Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing great, thank you.
Thanks so much for doing this today.
Yeah, you're welcome, thank you.
A lot of people are excited about it.
Oh, really?
Yes, I had friends, and yesterday people were like, "Oh, it's so good. What are you doing? We're gonna get so much awareness because obviously we are seeing more and more modus with vitiligo. So people are like, we are getting awareness, but not enough. Like we don't know enough things. And they were like, "This is
Yeah.
perfect because we're gonna find out things about it." So I was like, "Yes, I love the excitement everyone has."
Yeah, that's great to hear. Wonderful.
Okay, so let's start by you telling us a few things about yourself, whatever you want. That's up to you.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Farid, and I'm 30 years old. I'm from the Netherlands, and I live with Vitiligo for about 15 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do a little bit of modeling, and I have a charity foundation just to raise vitiligo awareness. And I try to help people whoever I can, wherever I can.
Mm-hmm. So I think we need to start from the basic. So the
Hmm.
basic would be the first question is to inform us a bit about vitiligo.
Hmm.
I mean, obviously, yes, it's a skin condition, right?
Yeah, the skin
Uh,
condition,
yeah.
indeed. And I will try to explain it in a simple way,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not always that easy to explain, even for me, when I have the condition myself.
Yeah.
But in fact, there is a disorder in the autoimmune system,
Mm-hmm.
and they are not really sure what causes the disorder in the autoimmune system.
Mm-hmm.
But what is happening is that the cells, the pigment cells that create melanin.
Mm-hmm.
Melanin is the substance that is creating the skin color.
Yes.
Well, those cells are being attacked by our own autoimmune system.
Mm-hmm.
And because those cells are being attacked and destroyed, no pigmentation is being reproduced. So we know that all our cells, they are created and they die off every day or in
Yeah.
so many hours. Your body regenerates itself constantly.
Mm-hmm.
But with the vitiligo and those pigment cells, that is not happening anymore because yeah, our autoimmune system is attacking the pigment cells, which are causing the pigmentation, and
Mm-hmm.
nothing gets back in return. So what you actually get are the white patches. So brown is my original color, and the white is the vitiligo. So it's colorless, if I can say it like that. And this is what people then see as a difference in color.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, on these spots, everywhere where it's white, even my hands, are places where my pigment cells have been attacked, and are places where my repigmentation is not happening anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the vitiligo.
What I wanted to ask you, because obviously I did some research first, but I found this other girl on Instagram that she has vitiligo. So obviously she like informs people on her stories and all that. But she mentioned like that, for example, like the patches can change, like your skin color. Like as you said, your hand is white, but then maybe in a year's time it changes. I don't know if
Mhm.
it's
It,
is
it,
that
it,
the
can,
case
it can
because I
happen.
don't know.
Yeah, it's surprisingly that the vitiligo can disappear as well. So the repigmentation can come back again
Hmm.
at one's body. It's really diverse. Actually, you cannot really control it, um, but it is possible that uh, in some time some people get repigmentation. They get the pigmentation back, and the vitiligo starts to get less at some places. So in
Mhm.
my case, I did some treatments years ago, and thanks to those treatments, my vitiligo started to get less, and my skin color started to repigmentate again. And I was about, let's say, at least 90% healed, if I may say so. Um, but when I stopped with the treatments, at some point, a few months later, the
Mhm.
vitiligo came back again. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going through all those things again. So I just accepted it from that moment on. But yeah, to answer the question, it is possible that it comes back, disappear, comes back, disappear.
Um, the other question I have is I know a lot of people are born with it, but I read in your website that it started when you were 15.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. There are a lot of cases where people are born with it, and then it comes genetically
Mhm.
um, within their DNA. So in those cases, those people have relatives who also have vitiligo, so it actually goes down in their bloodline. But that's not all the cases. There are a lot of cases when vitiligo just suddenly develops at some point, and it can happen at various ages, all genders. It doesn't really matter. It does not know a difference in race as well. So
Yeah.
literally every human being
Yes.
um, can develop vitiligo at any moment in their life, if not
Mhm.
born with it.
Is it something that causes you, because I know it's a skin condition, but is it something that can cause you issues with your health? Or is it just a skin condition that doesn't affect your health in any way?
Um, if we look pure at the vitiligo disorder, the skin condition itself,
Mhm.
then there is not really a connection with any health issues. But I do know that there are a lot of people who have um, a mixed diagnosis with vitiligo and combined with other uh,
Mhm.
health issues, if I may say so. But the vitiligo itself was not is not related to any health issue.
Mhm. What I want to ask you is that you, obviously, I saw your website and I went through that, that you are the chairman and founder of Vitiligo Awareness.
Yeah.
Could you inform us a little bit about that? How did it start? What is it exactly? Is it something that inspired you to do it? Like the whole idea behind that.
Yeah, sure. Why not? So basically, the Vitiligo Awareness International is a charity foundation, and together with the co-founders, other people who also have vitiligo, and one person who does not have vitiligo, but his a relative of his does have vitiligo, so he's
Yeah.
familiar with the skin condition. Um, we decided to set up this charity foundation because we wanted to create a platform
Mm-hmm.
where people who have been diagnosed with vitiligo, whether it is at a beginning stage or at a later stage, or whether they have accepted the skin condition or not, we just want to build a platform where people can reach out to one another, where they can find more information about the skin condition, but also where they have a place to be heard, seen, and understood, which
Mm-hmm.
is very important because the skin condition can trigger lots of difficult environments
Mm-hmm.
and also mental and emotionally. It can be difficult for the person to deal with the skin condition.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that there are a lot of people diagnosed with vitiligo, and we know that there are a lot of people with each and everyone with their own story, and we just want to give uh, as much people as possible the opportunity to have their story heard or seen or whatever, which is why we created the foundation a year ago. So we are still in our founding stage.
Yeah.
We're just at the beginning, placing the right rocks and building the foundation. But we have started with several projects so people can apply and actually get heard, seen, and understood. So this is where we want to go deeper into. And it's also a great way to inform other people who are not familiar with the skin condition so they can understand what the condition actually is all about and that it's not contagious or any
Yeah.
harmful or things like that.
I mean, I understand. It's what I said on the live last week is I understand because as you say, when it's a skin condition and it's something that's visual, like the other person can see, people are like, oh, like, maybe I'm gonna
Yeah,
like kinda touch him or like, yes, okay, I
yeah,
get that, I get it. But at the same time, if you don't know, do your research or
hmm,
ask the person that you see. Or I mean, it's the same. And Beauty Mark has said the same thing in her life. Like, yes, you see that I have a disability, a beauty mark. You can just ask me instead
yeah,
of, yeah, I mean, obviously put it in a polite way that you're not going to offend the other person, but
hmm,
it's worse than assuming things, and then you make the other person feel as if they have something terrible wrong with them.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yes, so you need, if you don't want to ask because you're, I don't know, you're a shy person or something, do
hmm,
your research by yourself, Google things,
yeah.
because
But to be honest, sorry to
yeah,
interrupt you,
yeah,
but to be honest, it can also come from both ends, you know. Not everyone is like that, you know. A lot of people are introverts or they just don't know any better or they
mm,
uh, are so into their minds, into their
yeah,
thoughts that they don't know how to think any further. But we, as people who look different than the normal standards, we get stared like this daily. So it isn't it is okay for us also to reach out. So let's say if if you know that someone is staring at you and you basically see question marks appearing on his head, it's okay to reach out and say, "Hey, is there anything you want to know, or are you curious about something?" You know, you can make it easier for that person to ask the question.
mm,
So yeah, it's okay if we also be more open about it.
yes. And so if someone wants to, because as you said in the foundation that you created,
Mhm.
obviously a lot of people can reach you whether they have vitiligo or not, right?
Yeah.
um, what are the ways that someone can help with the foundation that you've created?
Oh, there are a lot of ways. Um, so the things that we appreciate the most is that people feel connected
Mm-hmm,
to what we stand for and what we are trying to build and trying to achieve.
mm-hmm,
And we have a certain mission
mm-hmm,
that comes along with a certain vision that we want to achieve in, let's say, 10 years or even longer. And we really appreciate it when people feel connected to what we're trying to achieve. And if they want to apply for one of the projects, because it's all about you. Everyone who is dealing with vitiligo, we are doing this for you. So if you have some story or um, something you like to share, for everyone, just reach out and share it with us so we can have your voice and your story be heard and seen. And that's the entire purpose
Mm.
to give you the platform. So that's actually the thing that I would appreciate most. The second thing is that is yeah, people who like to join our team because with all the projects there, there's a lot of work to do and things that has to be done.
Mhm.
And at this point, we are doing it with a fairly small team with now three people who are
Oh,
active
wow.
with yeah with the major things behind the scenes, and then we have three bloggers who
Mhm.
write the blogs on our website. Very amazing, and we have um, an Instagram manager
Mhm.
who manages the Instagram page. And recently, another girl joined our team, which is really a major help. But as we grow with the number of projects and people who are interested in have their story heard,
Mhm.
yeah, we will be needing more people to yeah to take on those tasks. So yeah, people who like to strengthen our team are mostly welcome. And yeah, the third thing is that comes with everything, with every organization, that is financial resources.
Mhm.
So up till this point, and actually still do, all the financial resources come from my own pocket. So I am actually the main source of finance, but it is a charity foundation, so we should actually be running on donations and on fundings.
Mhm.
And we are not ready for the fundings because we are too occupied with everything that's already going on with the
Mhm.
charity foundation. So we are looking for someone who is more familiar with requesting the fundings to the government.
Mhm.
And yeah, donations, I believe donations will come in time. Um, yeah, 'cause I just give it more, how do I say this? I give more attention to building the platform first,
Mm.
and then yeah, the donations will come later. So that's not the main thing.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it helps, of course.
Yeah, it
And
does help. Yeah,
yes, that's the problem when you start anything, that it always comes from your pocket until you manage
yeah.
to build it up. But I feel it will go somewhere big because you are spreading awareness, and I feel there is not enough awareness about vitiligo.
Hmm.
As I said to you, I had friends that were excited about this life because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna find out like so many things," and
Yeah.
because we all have like a small idea, but if you don't, I mean, even if you Google things, yes, you'll find out, but obviously it's different when you have a live and people will
Hmm.
join and learn and
Yeah.
ask if anything. Um, yes, so is that something, because I read from, well, first of all, they can find the website on your page, correct? In your bio.
Yeah.
So I read from your bio that growing up was really hard with
Hmm.
vitiligo. Is it something that inspired you to do this foundation? Like the way, because I'm guessing even if we say 5 years before, that people didn't have the same awareness. So is that something that inspired you growing up and people not having the awareness around you, or?
Yeah, most certainly, because in my case, the development was 15 years ago during my teenage years, and vitiligo was a lot less more known than
Mhm.
it is today. But even though still today it is uh, not known well enough, and there are still so many environments and cultures where the vitiligo is seen as a curse, or people who have vitiligo are outcast, so they are not accepted within their own family or culture. And yeah, so in those cases, it is very difficult emotionally and mentally to deal with not only the skin condition itself, but also with everything around you, because nobody wants to deal with you. And 15 years ago, in my case, um, I could not accept myself because it was a sudden change with my skin color. And I had no idea what vitiligo was. The doctors could explain me what it is, but still, I couldn't really
Put it together, especially
put it
being a
together. Yeah,
teenager.
yeah,
That that's the worst time in
it
general.
was the worst time. Yeah,
So I'm guessing
it
that
is.
didn't help at that period.
It really didn't help. Not at all. It really challenged my life at that point, and I hated myself. I hated the way I looked. I hated the skin condition. I started to hate everything else, and I really became antisocial. So I actually wanted to have nothing to do with
Mm.
the world and anyone else. And if I had to go outside, I made sure that I avoided eye contact because in the beginning stages, I really got stared at a lot, and the pressure to feel that to feel those stares was fairly high to during my teenage years. So I really made sure that I avoided eye contact. But even doing that, I could still hear people whisper about seeing when they saw me, and say things like, "Oh, what does he have? He looks like a cow," or what are those things on his face?"
Mm.
You know, and as a teenage kid, it was very difficult for me to hear
It
those
was
things.
awful.
And yeah, and I was really an introvert kid, so I did not really step out for myself when I heard people, yeah, say those things, and it was always in public. And luckily at school, I did not have any negative experiences with the
Mhm.
vitiligo because, yeah, everybody at school already knew me, and yeah, I could. I was not the most popular kid at school, but yeah, I could hang out with most people. So I am thankful that I had a
Yes, I
great
would.
time at high school, but it was really a battle with myself and with my self-image.
Mm. But yeah, obviously, like walking down the street and having something like that, it's obviously it's not the best thing.
Yeah,
What I did like that I read though at your bio is that even though you had that, and yes, having all that outside of school and people staring, that I really like that you faced your elephant and and
yes, I
you
did.
decided to become a salesman.
Yeah.
Like, when I read that, I was like, whoa, you just went, you could have found a job behind a desk in an office. Yes, like you could go down that path because obviously you would feel
Yeah.
awkward and you decide to become a salesman and like knock on people's doors and like how?
Yeah, it all started with a documentary
Mm-hmm.
that I saw. The documentary was based on a book called The Secret. And during my teenage years, two cousins of mine were really into mindset and personal development. They were also older
Mm-hmm.
than me, but they were really into stuff like this. And they presented me the documentary, and they told me, "You have to watch this because we believe that it will help you, and you will get control back over yourself, over your mind, and you can become strong enough to
Mm-hmm.
deal with your skin condition. It may not heal, but you may get the strength to face it. And when I watched the documentary the first time, I was like, whoa, this is some good,
Mind blown.
mind blowing. Yeah. So I I was in love with the documentary, and I from that day on, I watched it daily, day after day after day, week after week, month after month. I did it for a long time. I literally brainwashed myself with the messages and the story and the purpose that the documentary wanted to bring out.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I thought it was all mental, so I had to work on it mentally
Mm-hmm.
until I figured out that it was helping in some way, but not where I wanted to be. Because I was really fed up with feeling sorry for myself. I was fed up with hiding myself. When I look outside, I see people being happy, wandering around, playing, walking in t-shirts and shorts because I did not do any of that. I was afraid to walk in t-shirts and shorts during summer periods. And I saw boys walking with girls, and I also wanted to have those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was finally fed up with yeah, feeling sorry for myself and being so depressed about my own situation. So it made me realize that it is not all just working with your mind. You have to put it into action as well. I had to face the elephant, as you say, so beautiful. So I was brainstorming on possibilities like how would I really confront myself and put myself in that situation so I can deal with it right away in a
Mm-hmm.
direct way. So I brainstormed a lot, and yeah, the only thing that I could come up with at that time was street sales, door-to-door sales, direct sales. So I wanted to work on how to deal with people's stares and how they would look at me. And yeah, the only way is to be in their presence. So that's how my journey started with dealing with my vitiligo, dealing with how people would be looking at me, and facing the elephant by becoming a salesman.
Well, I wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah,
Sure, you would.
because
Yeah.
I mean I am pretty social, okay, but it's so different like knocking on doors because people are like usually they're not that approachable, especially like knocking on doors and all that.
Yeah.
And I did do it for like 3 days, one like years back, because I wanted
Really?
3 days. That's how much I lasted. um, but it's so hard because the moment people open the door, they're like straight away there's a straight face. Yeah, so you already
Yeah.
make they put you in the awkward position. So it's already awkward because people are watching and you're like, what should I say? And then obviously, as you said, you
Mhm.
already had that from people outside, being out in the community. And so well done. That's what I can say. You're brave.
Thank you.
um,
Yeah.
the other question I had is because you model, and I am guessing modeling in general is very hard. It's not an
Mhm.
easy industry. Uh,
No. Mhm.
yes. So, how is it being a model with vitiligo? Is it because I'm guessing, as I said, modeling is hard. So already finding jobs in that industry is hard, especially if you have
Mhm.
vitiligo. I know that there's the model Winnie Harlow. It's pronounced
Yeah.
her name. So she obviously she has brought awareness to everyone with it. And yeah, maybe she has managed to open doors for other people in the future.
Yeah, most
But
definitely.
yeah, but how is it in that industry? Because I said it's hard as it is, but what have you experienced?
Um, in my case, it is a bit different than in the regular high fashion industry.
Mm-hmm,
Um, so where Winnie Harlow is working is really top model level and
mm-hmm,
high fashion industry.
mm-hmm,
And in my case, I was I was asked to model. I was asked by model agencies, and opportunities were given to me.
mm-hmm.
So I did not really come up with the idea. Let's go into modeling
Yeah.
and see
I
what
read,
it brings to the
yes,
table.
sorry to interrupt. I read that you were in entertainment though before, but it wasn't
Yeah,
exactly with modeling. If I'm not sure.
yeah. That was my own entertainment agency back in 2015 until 2019,
Mm-hmm,
and what I did, I was a artist manager. So I worked in the music industry.
mm-hmm,
And alongside that, I saw possibilities to provide artists for models for their music videos,
mm-hmm.
and that's how yeah, my entertainment agency started to expand to also part of model agency, but purely in the entertainment scene for artists. So uh, only as a dancer
Mm-hmm.
during music videos or as a dancer at clubs,
Mm-hmm.
um, or as a hostess during yeah, during events. So it was really not a model agency for the modeling scene, but it was
Yeah.
more an agency for in the entertainment industry. So that was a difference, but I did saw a lot in that world, and I'm glad I stepped out of it because it was not really the place I wanted to stay.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, you find out those things when you go into it. You don't know it before.
No, yeah,
Um,
I understand that. I
yeah,
because before because I moved in the UK 3 years ago, but when I was in Greece, I was doing for 5 years what you just said. So I was in events, yes, with artists and all that. And I understand what you say that you need to be in it to see that. Some people are cut out for it, but I feel
yeah,
after some point you want to do something different. I feel
hmm,
it's fun for a period of time,
yeah, yeah.
and then
It is a
later
lot of
on,
fun indeed. Yeah,
yes, it's fun. I love that industry, but I feel it's
yeah,
not for too long.
yes, yes, indeed.
Um,
It's fun for a certain amount of period,
yes,
but to keep it up,
no.
not so.
But how did modeling come about?
Yeah, so I had to make choices with my own entertainment agency
Mm-hmm,
because I was asked to fill in with my uncle's company. He was going away, and there was no one to yeah, to run his company.
mm-hmm,
So he asked me if I could help him, and I agreed.
mm-hmm,
And during that time, it actually became too difficult for me to manage everything because I had a part-time job. I had my own agency, which I did in the evenings and in the weekends. And then I also had his company that was in a different city with hour or hour and a half drive. So it was too much for me. And I noticed that I could not really manage my own company anymore. So I saw that literally go
yeah,
down, and I had to make a tough decision to quit with my own company. And that period really broke me down because physically and mentally, emotionally, it became too much for me to handle everything. Because I did that combination for a year,
Hmm.
which was really working 6 to 7 days a week for a year long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I physically broke down, I mentally broke down, emotionally as well. So I had to make some decisions, and I decided to stop with running his company as well. And then, yeah, uh, not very long, maybe 2 months later, I shared some pictures of me on social media. It got shared. It went in some way viral. Agencies saw my pictures and they liked it. So I was, I believe I was, um, how do I say this? I was
Get.
contacted by through Facebook, I believe.
Hmm.
They sent me
For.
a message on Facebook, yeah, on Facebook,
Yeah.
and they introduced themselves, and they wondered if I had any interest in doing modeling.
Hmm.
And I told them I don't know anything about modeling. I'm not a model. I don't have any experience. But yeah, if you want to give it a go, then sure, let's have a conversation and see what the possibilities are. And during that time, I was invited with another agency,
Hmm.
and they did mostly catwalks. So at that time, I joined two modeling agencies, one for photo shoots and one for catwalks.
Hmm.
And that's how everything started. They started with a test photo shoots, and they were really happy with the results. So was I. I was also really happy with the results. And they published me on their website, and yeah, assignments came in, and the modeling just started to roll. And with the catwalk agency, they invited me to join one of their trainings, and they wanted me to walk on the catwalk to see, yeah, if
Mm.
I had any feeling for it. And apparently I had, and they were they were impressed. So they asked me if I could join, and I said sure, why not? So through that agency, I also had several assignments and fashion shows. So yeah, I'm really happy and satisfied with what it has, with what it brought me,
Hmm.
and where I stand now today.
It's amazing because if you told your 15-year-old self that, like, you probably wouldn't believe it, because something that made you obviously feel so awkward socially, and as you say, you didn't want to go out or wear t-shirts or anything, and then all of a sudden, because you posted something, because you are so unique
Mhm.
and the way you look at everything, ev- people just want to book you for a bunch of jobs now, and you became
Yeah,
a model out of, you were in a totally different industry. And how it came about, it's
yeah.
crazy.
It's one door closed, another door opens, and a
Yes.
total different world. Yeah.
Um, so it's not something that, as you said, obviously you didn't chase for it to happen, it came to you.
Mhm.
But do you think that it is hard for, as we said, modeling is hard in general as an industry, but
Mhm.
do you think that now, like the time and age we are in, um, it's kind of equal, like being obviously a model with vitiligo? Do you think they give a lot of opportunities in that industry?
To be honest, it depends on who is looking for what.
Mm.
And I often have a feeling that people who fall into the diversity category, that we are being seen as a trend, and that
Mm.
some companies or brands just want to have someone with a different look or disability or disorder or whatever is different, that they do it for their own good, for their own image, just to go along with the inclusivity. And behind the screens, they don't really care about it at all. All they care about is the image. So I do believe and feel like that it is extremely difficult to get into modeling through the front door, really. And it gets confirmed when I hear from other agencies like if you were taller, you would be fully booked in high fashion, or if you had you were more muscular, then you would have gotten that job, or you would have gotten this, or if you were that, you could arrange this, or there's always an if. And just because purely because of that if proves that it is there is no full inclusivity, and we still actually label models uh, with the things that they are standing out with, like plus size model or dark skinned model or vitiligo model or disabled model or whatever. We are still putting labels on it instead of we need a model, and this model uh, has this and this kind
Yes.
of trait. No, instead of that, they are saying we need a plus size model or we need a vitiligo model. But it should be switched around. We need a
Yes.
model with, and then whatever the requirements. And also in my inbox on Instagram, I get messages, a lot of messages with people who get inspired by other people who do modeling. Maybe by me, maybe by other people. Doesn't matter. They get inspired and they feel like, hey, maybe I can also get into modeling. And they ask me for tips how they can join a model agency or how they can work together with photographers. And then I hear people say that they get rejected a lot. And this also confirms that a lot of agencies and a lot of brands, they only work with you if you fall into their requirements set by themselves. So they still decide what is accepted and what isn't. So I'm afraid to say that we are still not all inclusive when it comes to the fashion industry, the modeling industry. Surely the industry is opening up for more diversity, uh, whether they really intend to or just go with a trend. But it's opening up. That's a fact. But it's also a fact that we are not there yet. There is
Yeah.
enough room for changes, for improvements in every country. When I talk to models from other countries, they often say like our country is being left behind, or um, there in this country they do a lot of more with diversity, or where I come from, there is no acknowledgement for vitiligo at all. You know, so there is really lots of room for improvement, and unfortunately, we do not have it under our own control. Um, but we can have our voices be heard and be seen, and at some point it will get picked up. And I believe that slowly the signs are being picked up by the big brands and the big company.
I feel it is getting there because, as we said, there's more models coming in the industry. Obviously,
Mhm.
as I agree, as Sinclair management also said, that see, he hates labels. I understand what,
Yeah.
which I agree totally with that. And
Yeah.
the thing is that obviously when someone tries to book a module, there are certain things that they need.
Hmm.
So yes, if you want to do, I don't know, they have a concept in their head for a photo
Yeah.
shoot. It's what you
Hmm.
say. Yes, you need a model for your photo shoot. Okay, but just say you need a model and then be like, okay, I need a person that's blonde, because that's why it fits in the whole concept they have in
Yeah.
the brain. Instead of, as you said, labeling everyone, just say I want a
Yeah.
model, but I want them to have this, this, and that. Instead of
Hmm.
being, oh, I want from this category, from vitiligo modus, I need to find someone
Yeah.
with the, yes. So, but I, as you said, I feel like for future generations, it will be better. I don't feel we are going backwards. I just feel we are
No,
going,
indeed.
we are going a bit
Yeah.
too
We are going
slow.
forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we just need
Step by
to
step.
move a bit faster. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do not control the pace in how fast we are moving forward, but the positive thing is we are moving forward slowly, but there is movement, and yeah, we will be getting there in time.
um, okay, the final question.
Okay.
Obviously, yes, if anyone wants to ask anyone anything, this is the time. um, but I would like, this is the question I usually ask, because I think it does help people that obviously, as you said, you went through the phase that you were an introvert and you couldn't quite accept yourself,
Hmm.
which is totally normal. Other people, it takes them years to accept themselves, and you are creating this whole. You've managed to do this foundation. You're spreading awareness with it from your Instagram, from modeling, from giving people hope that you can do anything that you set your mind to do it. And it doesn't matter if people stare. It's the point is what you manage to achieve and
Yeah.
how you manage to feel with yourself. But what would you say to someone that has vitiligo and maybe it started now, maybe as you were in a very young age?
Hmm.
um what would you say to, let's say, help them maybe accept it, like, easier?
Hmm. Yeah. Well, let's say everyone has a different personality. Everyone deals with their struggles in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if someone has been into depression or in a state of mind where they have a negative self-image, only those people really can relate with each other. You know, you have to experience that type of depression and negative self-image. Otherwise, you will not be able to connect with the person, and no matter what you will say, your words will be empty and it will not be heard. So yeah, if there is someone with vitiligo and who is struggling with skin condition, whoever is listening or watching, is that I truly know the struggle that comes with vitiligo, the emotional battle, the mental battle, um, and that it's okay to be, you know, in a state of depression, and it's okay to be in a state of a negative self-image because it's a process. You have to go through a certain process because um, if you're not born with it and it just developed
Mm-hmm.
in at some point in some way, um, then I know it's most difficult because it is not the person that you used to be. Something is happening beyond your control against your own will. So who wouldn't be depressed or scared
Yeah,
or angry,
definitely.
you know? So it's understandable, and I can truly relate with what you're going through. And I will not give a simple answer because it is not simple.
Mm-hmm.
Life is not simple, and what goes in someone's mind without knowing the person and
Mm.
giving advice is not simple as well. I can only ask for those people who feel cornered or feel depressed or are somewhat um, unhappy, maybe because of the vitiligo, or maybe because not knowing how to deal with it, or having the feeling of being stuck in that state of mind and
Mm.
want to get out. Um, all I can do is reach out to you and invite you to either message me at any time or reach out to our charity foundation and just yeah bring out everything that you're feeling, say anything that you want, ask anything that you want, and reach out for help if you are in need for help.
Mm.
So I cannot really give any advice because I don't know, yeah, your story, whoever is watching or listening, but we are interested in listening to your story and even sharing your story.
Mhm.
So all I can say is reach out to us and we will see how we can guide you through this.
That's amazing. That's lovely because I feel years back, I mean, even because we are practically the same age, um, we didn't have that support. I mean, obviously,
Mhm.
years back, even before that, our parents and our grandparents, they didn't have anywhere to reach out for anything, whether it was, yes, it could be a skin condition, it could be mental health, or it could
Yeah,
be anything. I feel there was nowhere to reach out. There was no, even social media, it wasn't a thing back then.
yeah,
It's not like you
indeed.
could, like, okay, let me find a page on Instagram, like, because you can
Yeah,
find anything these days.
yeah. Even on the internet, there was not really anything that you could find
Yes.
out. Yeah,
So what you've created is amazing. I feel with the foundation, because I've never seen anything like that, like the foundation and the awareness you're spreading, because you're giving the opportunity to so many people. Even though it's fairly new, I can see it going big because you're giving the opportunity to people to reach out. And as you said, ask. Maybe you're going through, because of that, as you said, you can go through depressions. There's so many phases because each person deals with things and his struggles, her struggles differently. So obviously, as you said,
yeah,
you can't. But you've created something that gives people the space of, you can reach out and we will help you. We are here for you. And I think that's brilliant. And that's the whole point of life, that we are here to help each other and create big,
yeah.
great things like that.
We're
And
all here together.
yes, and I
Yeah,
love it when I meet people like yourself, and I'm so happy we got to meet, and which is crazy
thank you.
because social media can do like the worst, like you have the bullying and all that, but
Yeah,
at the same time you manage to connect with amazing
that's two
people.
sides of a coin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I love it. What are you creating and managing to help people in every way? So well done, and keep it up. Keep it up. I
thank you.
saw it even in a comment on that someone wrote that, yes, keep it up, and I can see it going big time.
Yeah, I hope so because it's important to help people and yeah, mental health is a serious subject, you know. So yeah, all I can wish for is for the amount of people who are in need for help that they reach out so
Hmm.
that they can actually receive help or guidance or whatever they are in need for. If you don't, yeah, reach out
Hmm.
and share your needs, then yeah, we will never find out. And
Yes.
hey, it's free.
Exactly. That's the best part.
Yeah,
So thank you so much for being with us today.
thank you
And
for giving me the opportunity to share my story. Yeah,
yeah, and I feel we will help so many people get educated. And at the same time, yes, if someone's watching that's going through something similar, that they know that they can go on your page, go to the
mhm,
bio, and they will find the website and everything there. So
yeah.
Yes, thank you so much for today.
Thank
I
you as well.
appreciate it. Um, hopefully, we will speak again.
Oh, we surely will. Yes, we
Yeah.
will. Thank you, and
Thanks
have
so
a great
much for
evening.
your time. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you. Bye bye.
you. Bye.